and I'm not sure what rare earth metals are part of that deal that they finally signed with Ukraine or not. I don't know what that. I haven't looked that deep into it to see what it is, but clearly it's stuff we use. I guarantee it's stuff we use in the semiconductor industry and
Yeah.
high-end electronics industry is a big national risk if we can't get it.
We can't get if China. How did we get in the position where China does every? How did we get to this point where? Because the Chinese, they're not stupid. I guarantee you, they saw this. They were looking at the 1,000 yard target, going, "We can get these guys where we're giving them because they're just so greedy. They just want to see the bottom line. They don't care about anything else. They just care about the money and saving a buck." And I guess I just answered my question, but
Right.
when did you guys at least, and you guys you're in it, you're really in the middle of a lot of this because a lot of your stuff does come from China, like you said, or is made, or you have to go outside and it's a lot harder to do, which is what you guys do, which is awesome. But when did that start? Did you think that it started, and then how do we get out of it? I mean,
I
there's
mean, it really started with Nixon, back in the day, normalizing relations with China. It really
wow,
did. Now, I don't think anybody saw in the early 1970s that this was coming, but the end result was that we normalized relations with a country that doesn't act on a and with fair trade, and
no,
yeah,
and they don't like us. And I
yep,
don't. I not, Grant, I was what 5 years old, 4 years old when Nixon. So I don't remember of it. I was
yeah.
just picking my nose and kicking rocks. But no, I mean that's a great point. I mean, who would have thought? And that's thought way back there, way back then. And I agree with you. I mean, now sitting back and listening to that. And is there a way, aside from doing these trade deals, and do you agree with Trump doing these rare earth trade? I do. I'm not in the middle, but I do. I'm gonna tell you right now, I do. But do you guys agree with trying to get these deals done with these other countries to get our rare earth minerals, to get other places to that produce these things that we can have a partnership with instead of just continually relying on China, even though in the short run it's going to increase prices on things, at least temporarily. And I think it is going to be temporary. Then they're going to start to come back down again. And we're going to be in a better spot.
I'll let Phil.
Um,
Phil, I
well,
mean, what's your opinion on it, man?
I think the America's pursuit of cheaper goods to improve a standard of living, is one factor of how we landed here. The next one is regulatory. Um, try to get approval and permitting for mining some of this stuff, and then see how fast that happened. There's more than one factor of kind of how we ended up here.
So many
Oh,
factors. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's environmental regulations, right?
100%.
That's
right.
why we can't even drill in Alaska. A lot of what Sean was saying was resonating with me. You probably saw I was looking something up because if you ever read the book from a few years ago, The Great Reset that Alex Jones wrote, however, I'm
Great,
not sure that Alex Jones
great,
really wrote it because if you read
great
that book,
book though.
it's totally not written like him. I think his
Yeah,
name is just on the book. But anyway,
yeah.
they talk about in that book how, believe it or not, you guys can look at this up. Like Mika Brzezinski, who's one of the hosts on Morning Joe, her father like helped China to compete with the US and went there and said, this is how you're going to defeat the US. And when he died, I think probably 20 years ago or something like that, maybe less, they had giant parades honoring him because he helped the Chinese to get to this point. So there were a lot of American politicians or American people who worked in an official capacity who helped China outpace the US in this way. Thanks for checking out Battle Line Podcast. This is just a smaller clip from our latest episode, which you can check out in its entirety by clicking here. While you're watching, be sure to hit the subscribe button and thumbs up the video to show your support. Now, if you'd really like to help us out, click the thanks button below to make a donation. It goes directly to us in keeping Battle Line Podcast going.